I'm William Nozak, and in this module, I'm covering measuring SEO performance. Why measure SEO performance? Tracking progress helps to show what is and isn't working. A lot of the time, managers, people that spend money, finance, your boss, they want to know what are you doing and what are we gaining from that. And oftentimes SEO lightly moves the needle. So we want to be able to show these needle movements. SEO can feel like a waste of time if you don't accurately track growth. Where did we start? Where are we at now? Where are we trying to go? Need to know what your starting digital footprint or SEO score was to compare it against progress after a few months. Remember, we're using third-party tools to measure these things. So always measure apples versus apples. Don't use program A and compare it to program B. Compare program A versus program A with different timestamps. Measuring SEO performance can tell you if it's translating into more impressions, clicks, leads, and sales, and that's what we need to know. Is the footprint changing? How to measure SEO performance. 1, organic traffic. 2, backlinks. 3, website authority over time. 4, keyword ranking. 5, dwell time. 6, click-through rate. 7, SERP visibility. 8, bounce rate. 9, page speed. 10, conversion rates of all kinds. This could be in any mix. I'm just gonna show you how to think through things. 1, organic traffic. Organic traffic, which is traffic to a website, social media, or directory through search, is more of a constant and it's a measurable piece of data that is directly related to SEO content efforts. Places where we're going to see organic traffic: 1, Bing Webmaster Tools, Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Facebook, because that's going to be a source of organic traffic, and then also Data Studio or Tableau. If you're porting in multiple data points into these, you're able to aggregate data sources. So this is where we want to look at our organic traffic. And the great thing about Google Analytics is it breaks it down. Did it come directly to your website? Did it come organically? Did it come from social media? Did it come from ads? Where did it come from? So who are they, where they come from, what they do? We got to know these things. A good site must rank for specific keywords. That's why we're targeting our whole theme. Thematically, what is the keyword that we want to target? Come out of the gate targeting that keyword or keyword phrase. And so we're taking a guess sometimes. So then when we win for that search term and we're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions and we're getting a good amount of clicks, the click-through rate's not suffering, but it's not turning into leads, that's an indication that you made a mistake. And now you make a pivot. You make an iteration. We had to do that with Nozak Consulting. We targeted a certain keyword. It brought me no leads. We pivoted, and then we found keywords in organic that bring nonstop leads. It's a continual changing of position. So backlinks. Backlinks are links from one site to another. Backlinks used to have a massive impact on ranking. SEOs saw this. They started selling this service, doing black hat backlinks, all kinds of wonky stuff that pull out of their, out of the hat. It's nuts. There's some speculation that their importance might be decreased. I always look at Google as like 10 levers. And when they notice that, SEOs and marketers are abusing one, they kind of like crank it down a little. They don't pull it off the wall. When they crank it down, there's another one that all of a sudden maybe feels like it has more effect in their algorithm. It's not pulled off. So decreased importance, to me, it still needs to be managed and managed well. It needs to be done appropriately. We need to write content that people want to link to and share. We need to really have a research strategy, reaching out to different edus, .govs, .coms, or anything else that really, they're in our link graph. We should link to them. They should link to us. Associations, we do need to hunt those things down. You can use a tool like Ahrefs, SEMrush to look at your competitors' backlinks, see what they have, see what you don't have. That's a good way to really fill in the gaps of, hey, how did they get that link? How do we go and get that same link? Website authority over time. Again, this is an arbitrary number. It's created by algorithms of certain softwares. They try to pair up and match up what Google's algorithm is trying to value a website with. They're taking a stab at a bunch of things they're measuring. And so page authority, domain authority, DR, UR, you're going to see all kinds of different names for it depending upon whose software you're using, whose algorithm. And that score is usually 1 to 100. It kind of, Google 100, YouTube 100, the strongest sites at the top of the link graph, they're going to be 95 to 100. you're going to be somewhere underneath there, and you're going to need to grow that. And you grow that by getting other sources to link to your website, to share it in social media, and get people to write their own blogs, and also use your research. And that's why we don't white knuckle our knowledge. That's why we try to put it on our sites and make it in a way that people will want to refer back to that content. So you have to build authority. It is done by backlinking. That's why it's not going to go away. But there's a right way. Industry-specific links that are in your industry, that are specific to your business, they're going to carry weight. Ones that are just kind of generic, they're carrying less and less weight. Keyword ranking. So while a site's overall organic traffic offers a comprehensive view of its SEO efforts, individual keyword rankings are another KPI. You certainly want to know what you think the main keywords are that turn into clicks, leads, and then sales. What we find is clients think they know what that list is, and the truth is we can improve their positioning, but we're thinking that really doesn't feel like a bottom of the funnel term until you really spend some ad money on it. Really, that can tell you the answer really quickly. We go to Google Ads, we spend some money on that, we see what our quality score is, we see what our bounce rate is, what our click-through rates are, what the costs are, and if it's turning into leads. If we spend a bunch of money and vet out some keywords, that is a quick way versus spending all kinds of time and energy into winning for organic to find that those words don't even really convert. There's many ways to do this, but certainly you want to pay attention to the keywords that you're ranking for, the position changes for them, how when you make changes to your site, some are going to go up, some are going to go down. What are the main ones we want to make sure we're never going down for, because we can go back and make modifications to the changes we made. Certainly re-index your site quickly to Search Console so you can get some feedback on SERP positioning sooner than later, and then make annotations in your Google Analytics. Hey, we made these changes, we added this content, changed the keywords here, the H1s, the keyword frequency, the slugs, things like that. So dwell time, the amount of time that a user spends on a page is immensely important. It directly signals how well the content matches the searcher's intent. At the end of the day, the bot or the AI is continually trying to figure out what a searcher's intent was, and they're using how they interface with your resource as feedback if it matched. There are things that are obvious if I'm an algorithm. One is going to be dwell time, bounce rate, but there are also things I'm expecting of your resource, for it to be fast, for it to kind of have some language that matches up against what I'm an algorithm I think the user's intent is. So high dwell time can kind of signal that it's a good match and it's a high quality resource. Click-through rates. We're talking about click-through rates. So you've got all the world, then you've got all the impressions that really are out there that make sense for you, and then the clicks, and then the leads, and then the prospects. So leads aren't all potential sales. So these are our prospect group, and then sales, and then return customers, right? It just keeps going. So click-through rate, we want to be paying attention to it. Click-through rates don't need to be super high. Some people are blessed, and your branded terms are obviously going to have the higher click-through rates because people know you, like you. That's a bottom of the funnel term. They know what you do. They're searching you because they want to buy or use your service. But you can really see 2.5 click-through rate. You can certainly will track that in Search Console. You'll track your average positioning. All of these with a grain of salt, but it's just helping us to understand trend analysis. It's really, at the end of the day, all trends. It's very important to move as high up in the SERPs, right? 1 through 3, of course, is the gold standard. But you're not going to win 1 through 3 for every term you want. That's just the bottom line. It's impossible. And the more keywords that you start targeting, it just gets a little tougher for your site. Now, as more authoritative and time goes on and people use it and you're matching up and you're getting good reviews, it can get easier for win for hundreds and even thousands of keywords. That is certainly very doable. SERP visibility. The search engine result page is what the searchers are looking at. So I'm going to Google because I think Google is God, and I use their search bar and I'm searching for something because I think Google knows everything. Really, I'm typing something into their little search engine as I would do in any other site, as people will do in our site. And so SERP visibility is how well does our content match up against what the algorithm is presenting. Certainly an SEO strategy matters. You're never going to match up against these things without an SEO strategist, without a strategy, without a long-term approach, without authority, all the things we're talking about you have to pay attention to. The needle moves slowly. Certainly it can move fast for some people. Really, it really is defined by how strong are your competition, how dug in are they, entrenched are they, how much time and energy do they spend on it. How big is your market? Are the market forces just local? Are they regional? Are they international? There's so many things. You have to have an SEO strategist to help you with these things. Bounce rate. Bounce rate represents the percentage of users who visit a site but leave without clicking anything. I go, I consume, I leave. Very common to have a high bounce rate on a blog post, but that's why we don't want to write one-off blog posts if we can help it. We want to have other links inside that content that pings them to other things that we know they'll likely be interested in learning about. We call these like horizontal resources. And certainly we want to get them back up to the vertically up into our funnel to get down into the bottom of the funnel, because right now if they're consuming blog content, very likely they're at the top of the funnel. So bounce rates, we want to look at home pages. We want to remove our blogs from the filter, look at our interior pages, service pages, what people are not doing. It can help us in accordance with heat mapping and video recording and tools like Full Story to see if there's any rage clicks happening so that we can improve our bounce rates. Certainly speed's going to matter. Your presentation on the mobile device, tap targets, contrasting colors, typography you choose, all of these things are going to matter. The images and how well your site works, all of that matters for bounce rate. Page speed. This is top of the list. So how fast does your page load when I'm in a valley on my cellular data and I drop your domain in, I directly go to your domain and I haven't visited before and it hasn't server cached or page cached on me? How quick is the experience? Super, super important. It has to be less than 2 seconds. Honestly, it should be less than 1.5 seconds. It can be hard to do with more robust sites, but this is what we're watching. We're watching images. How many images we have on that page, because every image is another call. And then what's the speed? Like, do I have a video in the backdrop playing in the jumbo? I love looking at that, but it just costs time, and every extra second is going to cause us to lose potential leads. So is the trade-off worth it? Can we A/B test it? So we certainly always want to pay attention to our page speed as the site grows, as the content grows, etc. Conversion rates. Conversion rates about anything. If I could put A over B, I have a conversion rate. So a person fills out a form, makes a purchase. That could be a conversion rate. Filled out form to purchases. Or a person that enters an email address. That can be a conversion rate from clicks to emails filled out. Google Analytics is great because it allows you to track goals. It allows you to pop filters on your own IP addresses on traffic. We want to filter out people that continually go back and log into our website. Certainly want to pull them out of the data. They're going to skew all our numbers. We want to get as clean data as we can in Google Analytics. That's why we're going to pop filters. We're going to set up goals, and we're going to look at who they are, where they came from, what they do. And then we're going to be able to take a look at some conversion rates. What's our best converting traffic? What's the traffic that we get a ton of it that bounces super high, messes up our bounce rate, doesn't do anything that's convertible on the site, but we're paying money for that traffic? Certainly need to diagnose those things and stop spending money there and spend money in better places with convertible traffic that's staying and consuming and doing better. You can find all of this stuff in Google Analytics and other analytic tools. Get your head wrapped around it, get some KPIs, start looking at these things so that you can improve them. I like to look at the spark, right? That little zigzag line. Which way is the spark going? Is it going up? Is it going down? Staying the same? Measuring SEO performance. If you need to, go back and watch that. If not, I'll see you in the next module.